Society has brainwashed you. Society has brainwashed you to think that masculinity is a mask that needs to be taken away. Masculinity is toxic. But at the same time, there's a correlation between these messages, with men giving up their masculinity, at the same time, men committing suicide. Why is there a correlation? Why is it that for the men who take off their mask, who get rid of their masculinity, they are often disrespected? Women don't come their ways. They're like the bottom of the barrel of society. Why do you think so? It's simply because you are falling for the lies. You are falling for the scam. So in today's video, I'm basically going to tell you about how, instead of looking at masculinity as a mask, see it more as an armor to protect you. That is why you dare not take it off. Now, how does something like masculinity protect you as a man? Before I answer that question, let's talk about why you think it's a problem. Is that one, you know that for you to be a man, it requires a burden of performance. You know this deep down, right? But because of, they've told you that if you get rid of that burden of performance, then you can live freely. Think about it. Show me somebody today who is respected by society but carries zero burden of performance. The most respected people all over the world have always carried the greatest burden of performance. And the first burden of performance you can take as a man is your own life, your own responsibility. But they've told you that no, it's too much. Get rid of it. Because that's how women think. You see, we're not living in a feminine society that tries to ascribe feminine ideas onto boys. Think about it. They've told you, oh, no worries, you can be less responsible for yourself. But guess who will face the consequences? It's still you. Another reason you are afraid or you have a problem with this mask, right, is that you are wearing the wrong mask. So what does the wrong mask look like? You want to look like a tough guy. You want people to think you're a tough guy. Now that is where the mask, the fake part comes in. You're wearing the wrong mask. You're wearing a mask that is inauthentic to you. Because I'm going somewhere. Because I had somebody at my gym, right, recently. We was telling one of my guy talking about how my guy is not aggressive, yada yada yada. And guess what? Just last week he got jumped. He got jumped simply because of he tried to show stupid aggression where that was not needed. Completely not needed. Now I'm not saying that aggression is not needed, but if you have a brain as a man, you know when to be aggressive and when to take a few steps back. You cannot be in the middle of four guys who are capable of beating you and be aggressive with them. You have to outsmart them. But I digress. The third reason you see masculinity to be a mask is you are wearing the mask for the wrong reasons, right? You want to impress people. You want to be a tough guy so women can like you. You want to be a tough guy because you don't want your heart to be broken. You want to be a tough guy simply because you want to come off a certain way. You want to please people. Now that is where it becomes toxic. So if that's the case, what's the way forward? Is, see this way, right? Anytime you want to level up in life, because every man from birth is a loser. As a man, you have to prove your value to the world, right? That's by providing, protecting, standing up in the case of chaos, assuming leadership roles, standing up for yourself. At some point, you're going to have to get up and say, you know what, I want to become XYZ. But to become XYZ, you need to do certain operations. You need to do certain identity shifts. Because if you already had these things, you will not need to change your being as a whole, right? So for you to get that thing, you need to be a different person, right? And to be a different person is where you need to change your current, the way you see yourself, the way you move in society. So you begin to adopt a different kind of mindset. You begin to wear a different kind of mindset, and this is where the mask comes in, right? You go on YouTube and tell yourself, oh, how can you get more girls? Because you realize that getting girls is part of what your leveling up skills, right? So looking for what? Fake actions to take. Not realizing that most of your problems come from within, not without. So to you, it feels like a mask of toxicity because you're being told to take all these random actions, behave in a certain way. And those ways will not guarantee you results. They won't guarantee results, quite alright. They wouldn't. So you feel like you are dragging yourself, you are struggling, and then Even when you're talking to a girl that likes you, right, you're trying to like play some games, we'll tell you, bro, you don't have to try too hard. You've already won me. And if a woman has never told you that, then bro, you have to level up hard, right? When you're talking to a woman, you're trying to like do all this game and stuff because I was once there, right? Trying to play all these games, talk to her a certain way. She'll be like, you don't have to do all this to get me, right? Because that's because by the way, like I said. So you know where you want to go to in life. Now, instead of thinking, okay, if you know where you want to go to in life, agree with me that you have to put on a mask. Or that in this context, you have to put on your armor. Because if you don't without an armor, you can't get there. It's a suicide mission. You'll be attacked. Right? For example, you want to be rich. You want to be rich. The armor is the identity and the mindset shift. Right? Because if you're not rich, if you already have the right mindset, you'll be rich by now. So the right mindset, you can take the right set of actions that guarantee you to be rich. But if you're taking the action alone without the mindset or the identity shift, you will always keep self-sabotaging. Someone come and tell you, oh, money is the root of all evil. And you believe that person simply because you have not yet made a solid framework in your head. Now, if you know what you want to achieve, the next question now is, what masks, what mindset do you really need to achieve that your new identity, to achieve that goal? This is where it becomes interesting, right? Because not every man should really be stoic. Not every man can be a tough guy. It will help to be tough, right? But not everybody has to play that tough boy persona. So ask yourself, with where you want to go to in life, what persona do you need to pick up? Because it's the persona that's the mask. It's the identity that's the, sorry, I keep calling that word mask. It is the identity that is the shield. So ask yourself, what identity do you need to get there? Do you need to be cold? Do you need to be stoic? Do you need to be confident? Because like I said, if these things were there already, you probably would have already had the results you're looking out for. But no, they're not there right now. Next thing now is, if you know where you want to get to, you know the right masks for you to wear, or rather the right shield for you to put on. The next thing now is for you to put it on. If you want to be stoic, be stoic. Be stoic not because you want to hide your emotions, but be stoic because you need to be in more control of your actions. For example, if you want to be a leader, if you want to be like a leader at a very high level, being stoic demands you to be in total control of your thoughts, your actions, your feelings. If you want to be an average dude, right, or an average millionaire, right, to a degree, you need to control yourself, but not to a degree where you're the president. Because without self-control as a president, without control as a president, you would ultimately make some stupid choices. Again, people are looking up to you. So every time they tell you masculinity is a mask, ask them to point out the masks you talk about. You get it like stoicism, burden of performance. But if you really look at those things are things that help certain men, to achieve results. Speaking of burden of performance, one thing that would always be there in life is that men would always be the burden of performance. And see burden of performance to be like you building muscles at the gym. The higher you can lift, the more you can lift, the stronger you get. So the more burden you can move around, the tougher you get. You see how all these things come to your advantage? Why I call it an armor? Because it is there to protect you. It is there to make you better. So anytime somebody tells you, oh, masculinity is a mask, get rid of it, tell them to list out some examples. I can guarantee you for every single one they call out, whether it's a high performer, I think that day I saw a list of masks that my clients were showing me, and it says performance. I was like, why do athletes win awards? Competition, why do athletes win awards? You see, it's one thing if you don't want to compete, right? That's your business, that's your cup of tea. But if you know where you want to go to in life, by the way, we are competing in reality. But if you know you want to get to a particular place, and that place you want to get to in life requires competition, don't shy away from it. Instead, lean into it. Wear that mask. Be proud of it. Just to recap, the three major reasons you are afraid to put on this mask is because, one, you lack the confidence. You don't know what you want to do in life, right? You don't know where you want to level up to. Two is that you're wearing the wrong masks. And three, you're wearing the wrong mask for the wrong reason, simply because you're trying to impress people, please people. So my name is Tonore. My message is telling you that as a man, right, what you're wearing is a shield. It's a mask when it is inauthentic, that is toxic to you. But if it's something that you've intentionally chosen, like for example, looking at where I want to head to in life, stoicism is important for me to be more in control of my thoughts, feelings, and action. But I can't tell this to everybody. That's why I always tell people that one-on-one coaching is very interesting. It's very good. And if you want to work with me, you can always hit me up in any of my social media that has a DM, right? If you want to join a community of men who understand this concept and are using it to win, because whether I like it or not, as a man, you are still expected to provide. As a man, they expect you to stand up when there's chaos. As a man, everybody looks up to you for leadership. But yes, I tell you to take up that mask. See, so what they're basically doing, I've come to realize is that they say some things hoping that you'll be stupid enough to believe them. But I really hope this video has made you realize that them telling you that it's a mask is because they want to control you as a man. As a man, always start with what you want to achieve in this life, what you want to be, your vision, what are you working towards, what are you looking up towards. If you know that, then you can begin to now be intentional about the mask you want to wear, and then you now have a strong reason for you to wear the mask. And by the way, like I've said, I keep repeating myself, mask. If any of the ideas that you heard in this video resonated with you, I'd like you to please share it to somebody who you know will find it helpful. Right? Until then, my name is Tonoreye, and my brand message is to tell young men to pick yourself up, get better every day, level up every day. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon, and bye for now, brother.